20s, and
Ooh.
Daniel Barenboim,
Yeah.
Vito Piaz, if I pronounce that right,
Right. Yes.
and Charlie Garcia.
Charlie Garcia. Oh,
Name dropping
that's
today.
right. That's right.
I came to Thailand for a 6-month sabbatical to do some voluntary work as a teacher, no degree, no TEFL, and I got offered a job. So I ended up here for 7 years, 4 years in China, retiring at 66. But when I came here, my landlady didn't speak any English and I didn't speak any Thai. But we fell in love. We married 10 days after we met.
Oh, lovely.
Still together
So
after
good to
15
meet.
years. Mm.
Oh, wow.
I shan't go back to the UK because it's so expensive to live in the West.
Is it?
Mm.
Wow.
My pension isn't good, but I can live reasonably well in England. I have to make a choice of whether I eat or heat in the winter time.
Ah, I see.
You know, people forget about 40% of Brits rely on food banks now. It's not that we're not a prosperous country. It's not divided very well.
Oh, I see.
Probably a bit like Argentina, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So how come you got this job of translation today then?
Sorry?
How did you get the job of translation?
Oh, but Ali just asked me to cover her for the day, and of course, there's nothing I can deny to her. She's a very dear friend of mine, and she's helped me so much. She's always been there for me. So the moment she texted me, I immediately said yes.
I've never
I'll do my best to be there.
I've never mastered Thai because it's a very difficult language because of the tones for Western people. But my wife learnt from scratch in 6 months. So I learnt to teach and she learnt English. And she's a really good translator. Because of all the time I've taught, I've only met 2 teachers who can hold a conversation who actually teach in English all the time. Whereas in China, everybody speaks English. Like when I went there for holiday, somebody said, there's a job out in the outskirts of Shenzhen. Nobody wants because it's too far out. So I went there and I had to teach the best adults. And they had the 3 teachers who had been shortlisted, and the teachers were actually chosen by the students.
Wow.
It's amazing because I was teaching adults, but half of them had been on the factory floor for 10 hours before they came to learn English.
Ah, I see.
Oh, we got Lamo today, have we?
Geshe-la is here.
Escucha perfecto.
Good morning. Please have a seat.
Yes.
Good evening, Geshe.
Yeah, good evening there. Good morning here. Good morning, Venerable Hamo. Good morning, Venerable Tenzin Hamo.
Morning, Geshe.
Venerable Kelsong. Good morning, Venerable Chuying.
Good morning, Geshe.
Chuying usually is the emptiness. Venerable emptiness.
Good morning, emptiness.
Good morning, Domasi. Good morning, Carolina. Good morning, Kevan. Good morning, Katina. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Arlene. Good morning, CJ, John. Good morning. Good morning, Katina. Good morning, Dr. Watkin. Good morning, Sisi. Good morning, Neely. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Julie Lewis. Long time. Oh, Julie. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Govina.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bodhisattva Patik. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Arlene. Good morning, William. Patrick, Alex. Sandra. Good morning, Felix. Good morning, Renly Packer. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Hamid and Patti.
Good morning, Geshe.
Anybody watching on YouTube, good morning or good evening. First, we'll do some prayer. This Thursday, that one of our youngest members passed away, Orion, 20 years old, passed away. One of our central youngest members. So my heart, somewhere in my heart goes out to Linda, Royden, and his sister Leila. So, and I've been, since last Thursday, I've been saying prayer every single day, dedicated for Orion's, future human rebirth. So then, of course, all our members, heart goes out to your family for this difficult. So then, from now on till 49 days, if our member can say, like the 8 set of prayers, when you do traditionally, there's 8 set of prayers been read during the 49 days. So then, whatever prayer you can read, King of Prayer, prayer beginning. So maybe Venerable Hamula will help. So to introduce this 8 set of prayer to people so that people can read at their home. So then if you don't have much time, then you can just recite Mani Mantra. Okay? Because Orient families and we are like karmically connected through the Kadamba Center. And these are wonderful family, wonderful kids, Leila and Orient, such a sweet kids. So it's kind of like sad news. It's too young to go, So say prayers, from now until 49 days is, whatever prayer you can say and dedicate for his higher rebirth. Okay, Jesus somebody will do the same thing. So we'll Lamula will say refuge in Bodhisattva prayer. Then after that, we are all say one round of compassion mantra, money mantra, and dedicated for Orion and his family. Okay.
Geshe-la?
Mm.
So we are going to set up a page on our website with all the prayers that people can find them easily, and then they can sign in so that we can let Linda and Royden and Layla know who's been offering prayers for Orion. We'll get that up this afternoon.
Is there a way to send the card to them, their family, to the center or no?
We through the center or people can contact me, but we'll also have a place on the website where people can find the prayers and say the prayers and put their names in so that we can let the family know that they're praying for them.
Okay. Oh yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, Lamula.
So, let's see.
Like Lamula, Shakyamuni Buddha. So then
Oh, we'll do Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay.
so all the prayer that today dedicated for Orient, higher rebirth. So then all the prayer here, whatever prayer we say today here. So especially
So we say our usual Sunday prayers.
yes. Then after that, for immeasurables. So then like usually you say money mantra.
Yes.
Yeah. So then we not just do 7, we do one whole mantra, whole mala.
Te ata mune mune maha munaye soha. Te ata mune mune maha munaye soha. Te ata mune mune maha munaye soha. Bhagawan, with equal compassion for all, whose name, when merely heard, dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispeller of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to Medicine Buddha, lapis light. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, aza samugate soha. Te ata om bekanze, 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 aza samugate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, raja samugate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, raja samugate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, raja samugate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, raja samugate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, bekanze, raja samugate soha. Now the 4 measurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the goodness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. Okay, so here's the mantra we're going to do a whole mala of. Make it a little bit bigger. Maybe that was too big. Okay. Okay, now the verse of praise and the mantra for Chenrezig, the Buddha of great compassion. Not veiled by any fault, white in color, who said a perfect Buddha crowns in light. Gazing compassionately at all beings, to you, Chenrezig, I'll sing when I prostrate. Okay. So we'll do the first 7 and then the last one out loud and the rest of the mala to ourselves. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And now the verse of praise and mantra for our Arya Mother Tara. Tare liberates from cyclic existence. Tutare liberates from all fears. Ture liberates from all sickness. I prostrate to the liberator, Mother Tara. So we'll recite 7 of these. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. Om taritu taritu 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 re soha. And then the refuge and bodhicitta prayer. Let's see. Led by Geshe-la.
Sanje Chodon Soje Chonam La Chajo Padon Dane Japso Dage Cheshe Jebe Sonam Je Andola Penje Sanje Sanje Chodon Soje Chonam La Chajo Padon Dane Japso Dage Cheshe Jebe Sonam Je Andola Penje Sanje Sanje Chodon Soje Chonam La Chajo Padon Dane Japso Dage Cheshe Jebe Sonam Je Andola Penje Sanje Tata Lame Medami Aji Omo Dama Jaji Lazo Cheshe Chodan Chama Chama Nama Sanje Sura Rado Shishin Dewe Jujuma Dida Shishin Atambe Chini Jine Namo La Yeke Dhamlo Dani Jenge Chobo Dada Mi Yeke Nanda Kunje Nanda Nida Tamche Kedo Dage Chedun Do Kange Tuze Nyeso Ne Tawa Tamche Pamesh Tambe Chine Dede Ba Kodam Janga Chapse Oh yeah. Oh, is there any questions or no?
Yes, Geshe-la, there are a couple of questions.
Well,
One of them is about the nature of permanent phenomena.
mm,
And she actually has a couple of questions. One is Buddha nature a permanent phenomenon? And then she has a quote from a teaching, all permanent phenomena do not have causes, but they are dependent on impermanent phenomena. And then she says, I realize I simply do not know what permanent phenomena are and want to understand better.
Kichigma, that's the definition of impermanent. Kichigma. Kichig refers to momentary, change by momentary, momentarily change. No, kichig moment, jig, disintegrate moment by moment. Anything that's disintegrated by moment by moment, that was called impermanent. So that's how when you study Buddhist philosophy, you study based on definitions, how you define something is impermanent or not impermanent. You look at the definition of impermanent. Definition of impermanent is called kichigma, kichig, moment, ki moment, ki jig, power disintegrate, kijigma. So there's the something that disintegrates moment by moment, that's impermanent. Anything that doesn't disintegrate moment by moment, that's considered as permanent. Buddha nature. It doesn't disintegrate moment by moment. So you could say, technically you could say, so you are not in a debate courtyard, you could say Buddha nature is permanent. Usually refers to shunyata of mind, mental. Shunyata of mental refers to Buddha nature's So that very mind become omniscient mind. Once you become enlightened, so that very mind become omniscient mind, and that shunyat of that mind become you talk about four kayas, four Buddha's body, four body kaya. Become that Buddha nature become nirmaka kaya, sambhoga kaya. Then there's some true kayas. Don't remember in Sanskrit, either in Sanskrit or in English. Only remember in Tibetan. Doesn't much help here. Kushi. Sometimes 3 bodies, sometimes 4 bodies. It means same thing. When you count 3 bodies, one is already included in another one. Sometimes there's 4 kayas. So then Dharma kaya, Sambhoga kaya, Ashubha kaya. So then, probably you remember better than I do now. Then, what is the other question?
The other question that she had is that you had talked a little bit about the illusory body, and please teach us more about this. How do we understand it in relation to the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya?
What is the other questions?
No, that is the other question. I guess they're all related.
So now, like, so last time that, like, out of 6 professions, how many professions been explained? How many professions been explained?
Up through patience, Geshe, you were speaking of patience last week. I think we are talking about the 6 professions because somebody asked that questions, like how to meditate on bodhicitta. So and then I also mentioned like there's like 2 instructions, coming from 2 different lineage. That Lama Atisha possess all those lineage. So 6 cause and 1 result, and exchanging oneself with other. That's how you meditate. If you really want to develop bodhicitta, these are the 2 instructions. Then you work on those 2 instructions, then you will develop bodhicitta. There's no questions. This instruction is there to help you to develop bodhicitta. So that instruction has been tested and produced great results. So this is the perfect instruction how to develop bodhicitta, okay? So then after once we develop bodhicitta, so then we voluntarily committed to engage ourselves into bodhisattva deed. Sometimes it's called like 3 trainings, 3 moralities. So that's the summary of all the bodhisattva deed, even though there's like hundreds of different types of bodhisattva deed, kind of sums up in the 3 types of moralities. So when you expand that, so then it becomes 6 professions. And so I think last Sunday we've been talking about the patience. Patience is something that we not just talk, we practice, we put into practice. So when we put into practice, when we face challenge, so there is, whenever we face challenge, there's the opportunities to really engage yourself engage into the practice of patience. Usually we can just talk, So then whenever we face a challenge, so there's always risk. Either you can decide to practice patience, or the result will be something wonderful, or
you could choose to react to whatever challenge you may face. Unfortunately, most of the time, it's not the reaction is not produced by loving kindness, bodhicitta. So then, whole environment turn into toxic, so that nobody enjoys. So then that kind of spread toxic energies around, and that has negative impact on people's life. I don't believe that anybody likes to see somebody miserable. That's human nature. Yeah, if we have choice, probably people choose to be with somebody who's happy than miserable. That's what we choose. So just also think about, it's also important to think, not just learn the preparation, also need to think when you get chance, whenever we face challenge, so there's opportunity that you could, there's possible, it kind of produce the possibilities or opportunity to you to engage into the practice of patience. And then then when you look down that event, if you practice patience, you feel good, you feel great, and you feel hopeful that you could do the same things when you face the bigger challenge. Then what Master Shantideva said, there's nothing that does not become familiar if you put some effort. Anything that could become, we could become familiar with something if we put some effort, and unfortunately, there's no what we call, there's like, of course, everybody expecting something instant, easy, or quick, easy, instant. Unfortunately, that's not. Even though somebody said there is, probably is not telling the truth. So we know better, So in my case, now over half centuries, live my life. So you see all kinds of things, you hear all kinds of things. Many things happen in your life. There's no easy solutions, unfortunately. But there are solutions if we implement it, and they require some effort, some dedications. So when you think about anything like maintenance, how you say maintenance? So everything requires maintenance. Even your spiritual practice requires maintenance. It's not just your spiritual practice, everything else requires maintenance, So if you let something that you see some kind of like dirt on there, you could just wipe out right away. Otherwise it builds up, then it becomes harder to clean. So, like that, everything requires maintenance. You have to maintain. Your spiritual practice, you have to maintain. So then that requires some effort. So we have to be truthful, like every problem, there is solutions, but there's no instant solutions. There's no solutions which does not require any effort. So that's not how it works. So it needs some dedication, some effort. So if we make some effort to become familiar, then it will become familiar. You will become familiar how to type, how to drive. You don't just jump into the car and drive. First, you to go to get a learning permit. So that requires some effort, dedications. So you need to test. Then after that, you get learning permit. Then after that, you go to driving test. If you pass, then you get driving license. Then you drive. Then slow. So at the beginning, you require a lot of mindfulness. Then eventually, you become comfortable. So same thing. Same thing. So now when you look at like airplanes, so like this carries like hundreds of people, you are kind of wondering how you can drive that, how you can fly there. Yeah, people somebody who does not know how to fly, learn how to fly, and then like many hours, so then you are qualified, then you can fly that. Seems like impossible, then become possible. Same thing, everything. Shanti, there was everything. If you put effort, everything is possible. If we don't try, nothing become easy. Nothing become easy. If you practice how to tolerate small difficulties, second two lines, then you learn how to tolerate bigger difficulties. Same thing, challenge. Always looking for instant answer. That's sign of weaknesses. Then it's not good. So that's talking about patience. Patience is not something you just talk. It's something that you put into practice. Slowly. First try to tolerate small difficulties. So then you become experienced. So then there's hope that you could tolerate bigger difficulties. Yeah. So talking about if you think, there's no problem, that's not really good. There are problems. No, we have to think it's not. Yeah, if you can just think, mentally probably there's a lot of benefit, everything's proper. Yeah, that's people do. Even in Vajrayana practice, they try to see just pure, just when they meditate, trying to just see pure, tabaram jam, just see power, just see pure. All the environments like mandala, all the beings in that environment, Dhaka, Dakini, yeah, you just trying to see just pure. In reality, not everything's pure. So we have to admit it's not everything pure. Why is not everything pure? Complicated. It's complicated. Because due to cause and condition, it's kind of complicated. It's very complicated, not just complicated, very complicated. So when you think about the whole world, it's very complicated due to the cause and conditions. So just being aware of the nature of samsara, it kind of like reduce this unrealistic expectation. It reduces unrealistic expectations. Just being aware, just having a knowledge or just being aware of, they are heaven, they have their share of problems. It's not like they are free from samsara. They are part of samsara. They have their share of their share of problems. Relatively, desire much better, doesn't mean they are completely free. So then demigod realms, they have their share of problem too. Human, we have our share of problems. Just being a human, yeah, we have common problems. That's why in Lamrim teaching, it mentions, the problem related to heaven, demigod, human, animal realms, Pratha realms, hell realm, that mentions. Because just being aware, just having a knowledge of being aware, it kind of create the opportunity you to get out, not to just depress, to just feel overwhelmed. It kind of gives you the chance to get out as soon as possible. At least just being aware, it will happen sooner or later. It will happen. It's part of that. It will happen. It's not like just something that happens. It is like it shouldn't happen like that. It happens. So when you think about then the complication, that 8 types of complication that is associated with the human life, yeah, all human have same problem. That is common problems. It's not like the unique individual problem. There's the common problems. Separating from loved one, happens, sooner or later, it will happen. It's better to be aware, better to be aware, better to be aware. That's called common human problem. It's not just your problem. It's like common human problems. Encounter with something undesirable. There's common human problems. It's not just your problems. There's like common human problems. Encountering undesirable object, losing loved one, close one, common human problems. Better to be aware. Loneliness, also common human problem. Loneliness is common human problem. It's not just your problem, it's common human problem. Sometimes being so successful, sometimes go down like that, up and down, like roller coaster, up and down. That's not just your problems, it's human problems. Every human experiences that, not all the time, on and off. So that's why how to say, these are all the part of the process for your liberations, for your freedom. For your liberation, for your freedom, that's a part of the process. It's not separate from your liberations. When you are thinking about those things, you are thinking about your liberations, your freedom, ultimate freedom. And you are in the process to offering yourself best gifts that you can ever offer, liberations. From the cycles. When you free from these cycles, all these 8 types of problems, 5 types of problems, 3 types of problems, these are all will be not there. You are free from them. You are all free from them. You're all free from them. That's how you're free. So this is all part of the process. So that, either you can do review meditation, analytical meditation, concentration meditations. These are all part of process for helping yourself. That's why I mentioned before. Small scope in Lamrim, small scope, middle scope, you learn how to help yourself in the best way. Great scope, then you're trying to learn how to help other people, other beings. So that's why in the Lamrim, the great Lamrim doesn't begin from the great scope. It begins from the small scope, then middle scope, then great scope. But the small scope and the middle scope is not separate. It's a part of the process of great scope. It's part of that. It's not separate. Even though it's taught separately, but this is all the process. The minute you studying, meditating on the small scope, you are working towards your fully enlightenment. It's part of that. So see, it's very like helping yourself, as I mentioned before, helping yourself. That's what you should think about. Small scope, middle scope, knowledge, so then reflections, then implementing in your life. This is a part of the process. It's very important to have that mindset. It's not like just studying some kind of religion. It is for your liberation. It's not just some kind of studying some kind of religion. It's not. It's like you're learning the best way to how to help yourself. Small scope, middle scope. That's exactly what you do. How to help yourself. So that then knowledge, being aware of this downside of samsara is part of the process. It's part of the process. It helps. It helps. It doesn't become like shock. It helps. Getting old is the part of the life. It's nothing unusual. It's nothing to be sad about, nothing to be feared about. It just happens. It happens to not just to you. It happens to everybody. Everybody. So it's part of life. So then so much stress, anxiety, fear based on that will disappear. Will disappear. You recognize this part of life. Will disappear. So then, sometimes sitting like meditation, there's pain here in the leg, there's some pain in the back. But mind is joyful. Mind is joyful. Eating the, what do you call, like hottest chili in North Carolina, what it's called? They say that North Carolina is one of the hottest pepper, spicy. Do anybody know the name? No.
It's called a Carolina Reaper.
Yeah. Carolina?
Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, exactly. It's Carolina Reaper. That's the
habanero.
It's the very hot. People who love hot pepper, even though it's burned so much, mind is happy. Mind is happy. Probably, if you are not fan of hot pepper, probably you can't get your head round because you don't understand. You may say, you are free to say there's suffering. Probably it is some degree, it is kind of suffering, physical suffering. It's because it burns so much, like tear comes here, oxygen comes out of your head. But that for that person is mind is enjoying. The mind is enjoying. So that's what I'm saying. So people who understand the whole process of liberations, when they sit down, some physical pain here, some physical pain there. Mind is happy. The mind is happy. Physical body, here pain, here there, some pain. Mind is 100% happy. Like the same thing, exercise. Going around the lake. Some people carry like a rucksack, backpack, filled with, I'm not sure, like 20 pound. Yeah, physically, it's not easy. Nobody likes to carry 20 pounds around the 2 miles loop or 3 miles loop. But mind is thinking, accomplishing something. Mentally thinking, accomplishing something, doing something good for the physical body. The mind is, I think, during the process, I'm not sure it's happy, but at the end, the mind is happy. At the end, when you're done, the mind is happy. Same thing. So, so some of you may like wonder, like, I don't want to really think about those downsides of sometimes maybe make me kind of like depressed. No. It makes your mind happy. So, practicing patience at that moment may not be easy because ego doesn't support. Ego wants to do you something else. Ego wants to create a toxic environment. So then we take refuge in ego since our birth. We take refuge in our ego wholeheartedly, genuinely, sincerely, wholeheartedly. So ego wants to do something else, but you're that moment it might be not easy but difficult, but in the future we'll be grateful. So then like Shantideva wrote this Guide to Buddhist Way of Life. So if you're having issue with the anger, so then please read that chapter, and it will definitely help you. No question. It will definitely help you if you implement whatever Shantideva said. Because this is the most destructive emotions, not easy to challenge. So that's why that chapter has more page. It's not like 21st century we have challenge. No, anger used to be challenged all the time. Oh, Jimba Chudim Seba. So then the Jimba Chudim Seba. Then the fourth one is effort. It's not just effort, joyful effort. I think you can do things joyfully. There's no question. We are capable. We are capable to do things happily. We just need to motivate, that's all. And doing whatever the practice you're doing, and doing that practice, you have to remind yourself about precious human life, opportunity that you have. So then remember what Lama Tsongkhapa said, what Lama Atisha said, or the very things that you are doing, that what Lama Atisha said about that practice you are doing, or that kind of like cheers you up, kind of cheers you, wow, that's really amazing, amazing, like able to dedicate your life, to Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga practice, able to say Lama Tsongkhapa mantra. It's kind of cheers you up, like, wow, this is really rare opportunities. And physically fine, mentally okay, This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time to do. You can't wait. We can't afford to wait. This is the perfect time to do. This is the perfect time to do. Oh. It's hard when you're physically not well. It's hard to think something good because there's pain. But when you're physically healthy, mentally okay, so this is the perfect opportunity to do things happily. You can do. We are capable of doing things happily, but need to remind ourselves constantly, yeah, you can do. There's no question. You can do. There's no questions. Doing things happily. Oh, that's called then joyful effort. The perfections, the fifth perfection, joyful effort. It's not just you are not just doing it. You are doing it happily, with joy. Can you imagine that? Doing something with joy. Then that you become very familiar with that day after day. Oh, so then very good. So that joy cannot destroyed by anything, even the death cannot destroy the joy. Nothing. Oh, how's our physical sicknesses? Oh, you are completely protected. You are completely protected. There's like living proof, not just talking, there's living proof. Physical difficulty does not interfere with that joy. No, there's joy there in the mind. Oh, yeah, because every situation you have tools to use. You have tools to deal with every situation. But right now it's difficult. So we're just learning. We're just learning step by step. We're just learning, implementing step by step, getting better every day, getting better. Words are making more sense. Before it doesn't make really sense, just mumbling. Now every single word making more sense. Not just sense, you feel it. You feel. Now you are feeling the meaning of that word. You are feeling, not just knowing them, feeling. So then, yeah, so we can really improve. So otherwise, like having these common issues, just simple as being human. There's 8 different types of issues we all human have. Top of that, we add so much more. Then that's very unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate. So it's already complicated. Then we make more complicated, adding all kinds of things and all kinds of, so all kinds of things and the views, then all kinds of things that we add up. Yeah, probably sometimes it seems like the 8 is not enough. 8, we have being as human, there's 8 types of problems. Feel like sometimes that We feel like there's not enough, so that's why we add more. I think that is 8 is more than enough. It's more than enough. So if we can eliminate one of them, very good, So it's more than we don't need to add more. So then, unfortunately, because of this sophisticated mind, and we make more complicated, So then joyful effort. Whatever spiritual practices you do every day, joyful effort. Yeah, sometimes what's lacking is like conviction, faith. Conviction, faith is not there. Conviction, faith. Merely reciting Buddha Vajrasattva names purify each and every negative karma. You are not convinced. You are not convinced. You are not convinced. Therefore, you don't do because you are not convinced. And meanwhile, wondering how I can purify, how I can clean my mind. Meanwhile, teaching is practice is already there, that you are not convinced. And meanwhile, wondering and not really enjoying that the mind is very strained with all kinds of things, really not enjoying and wondering how to clean and running here, running there, nothing left. Jumping in the icy cold water in the winter time with no clothes, jumping there, dipping there, coming up. Maybe there's a way to purify, hard to say. Like merely remembering Buddha Vajrasattva names purified each and every negative karma. Are you convinced? Who said that? Person who said that what they gain, nothing. Material-wise, nothing. Material-wise, what they gain, nothing. Are their books are copyrighted? No, there's no copyright. It's free. Everybody can publish. Everybody can print. There's no copyright. Is authors making any money? Zero. Why? They have zero intentions. They have no intentions to make. What is their intentions? Just to benefit. That's all. Just to benefit. Are you convinced? Question is, are you convinced? Do you believe in purifications? Do you believe you can clean your mind? The main questions, they rise. Each and every one of us has responsibility to answer. Are you convinced that you can clean your mind? Are you convinced that your body, your life can become crystal clear, like balls, crystal clear ball? Do you believe that your life become like crystal ball? Do you believe? Probably not. So then, life do become difficult. It's not perfect, that's the fact. Because it's part of samsara, it's not perfect, it's a fact. We know, you are aware. So first you learn the word, it just become not much substance. Slowly, same word, repeat again, do every day, again. Slowly start to make sense. Slowly you start to have some glimpse of taste, what that means. Slowly, you feel like, oh, this is very liberating. Reciting refuge Bodhicitta prayers, very liberating. Oh, now you are experiencing. Now it has some substance because you created that. Oh, so every practice. So otherwise, now, 35 Buddha compassion practice, reciting one Buddha's name just one time purifies 25,000 years of negative karma. Are you convinced? No. That's why we don't say. Meanwhile, then wondering, not really enjoying, the mind is very much strained, not very happy, don't do nothing. There's something to do, you are not convinced, that sounds very easy. I'm not convinced. Yeah. So then, that's how the life becomes complicated. Okay. All my friends here, and like, So we have to try. We have to try. We can be better. You could become enlightened. Somebody exactly looks like you, not physically, human, did enlighten. Why not you? There's somebody who is like, Milarepa is human being. It's not like some kind of aliens, human being like us, exactly like us. Even not monk, lay person. If you think, oh, I have no chance to become lay person, no. Lama Marpa, Naropa, Telopa, all of this great yogi, they are not ordained. If you're ordained sitting there, oh, maybe no chance. 168 Lama Tsongkhapa disciples managed to enlighten in this life. 108 of them. These are all ordained people. But, so we need a lot of encouragement in day-to-day life, daily basis. We need a lot of encouragement and need to think that you can do. It's not like, oh, you cannot do. Obstacles, ignorance, obstacles, no wisdom, you can't do. Somebody else did, you can't do. You are in the process. There's something, wow, that's really wonderful that you are in the process. Process has already been started. Otherwise, when you are going to start, if this is not the right time, when is going to be the right time? That's not the right time. It requires human rebirth, human life. Without human life, enlightenment, impossible. Oh, impossible. Or house of other realms, oh, much better. But they have no opportunities. Human has to be human. So then you are human now. So very important. Okay, so I'm trying all my best every day, trying all my best. So we've been talking last 20 years, just talking. So now it's reached to the point. So need to maybe think about putting into practice, not just talk. Yeah, so the patient is not some kind of subject just to talk. Patient is something to implement. When you feel challenged, then you implement. Why? Protect yourself. That's your moral responsibility. It's nothing to do with religion, but religion teach. But that's your moral responsibility to protect yourself. If you learn how to protect yourself, you learn how to protect other people. That's called Mayana path. That's after the middle scope. It's not right in the beginning of the Lamrim. Lamrim begins with a small scope, middle scope, learning how to protect yourself. How to protect yourself. So then Mayana path, not just yourself, then you learn how to protect others using your life to protect other people. Okay, so then joyful effort. That's out of the 6 professions, joyful effort. So then, foundation needs to be laid down. Then you can, it's a very good question. What is a rainbow body? How you can achieve rainbow body? How this chakras and channels. First, need foundations. You need to lay down foundation first. There's something you can learn. It's not that easy not difficult to learn. You can learn. So then you can build steady house. You don't know foundation, so then so then, eventually, this all good questions about the rainbow body. This all needs to be learned in this life. You can learn slowly, step by step. Otherwise, it may create some kind of confusions. Because there's no foundations, then jumping right into the very end may create some kind of confusions. Then I'm worried, not just me, many must are worried. They invest so much energy, but will not produce any result. So if you put all that energy into refuge and bodhicitta prayer practice, you may produce some result. That's why Kadama Master worried. So like talking about usually body channels, chakras, bringing drops in and out, generating all these 8 types of bliss, going, all of that. When you need it, that may not become handy because there are so many things, there's possibilities, there's so many things could go wrong. There's so many possibilities that things could go wrong. Taking refuge in bodhicitta, what could go wrong? Very little, very little, very little things could go wrong. So that's why one of Kadam Umar said, that practice may become very handy when you desperately need it. So I'm not discouraging any of you to learn Tantra. I'm not discouraging. But what I'm saying here is the Tantra teaching, the way it's designed, how to implement in our day-to-day life practice, the foundations is the Lamrim is the foundations. So that foundation needs to be understood very clearly. Otherwise, you are riding the one of the most powerful horse on the planet, but you have no eye to see. So then that horse will run because it is the fastest horse on the planet. It will run very fast, but you have no clue where it runs. It may run into bushes. No. I'm not just making this up, because we are friends. We've known each other 20 years. It's my moral responsibilities. Moral responsibilities. Make sure that I don't put you the horse that you cannot see, one of the fastest horse. You don't know how to handle that horse, and just, how you say, slap the horse, then say goodbye. No idea. I have no idea where you go, so you probably have no idea where you're going. It's not like you teach everything that simply you just know. It's not good. It's not good. It's not like, you just give initiation because you know how to do that. It's not that difficult to do. You can't just do because simply you know how to do. That's not good. You have to think about people who comes to the initiation. You have to think about them. Did you prepare them? It's not about you. It's about them. Did you prepare them well? If not, then it's supposed to be like blind leading blind. That's not good. So that's not good. Then some of you may wonder, why Geshe-la never give initiation last 20 years, or some other people are giving. So I know better, they know better what they do, so I don't have to do. So why I never give initiation last 20 years? I have my reason. You can't just. So that's why when you request 7 limb prayer, when you're requesting, teach me something that's suitable for my mind. You are not asking, teach everything that you know. When you look at the word, it didn't say that. It says that teach me something that's suitable for my mind. Does it require, teach me everything that you know? That's not like, So I'm not discouraging. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not discouraging. It's very important to have connection with the Tantra teaching this life. Yes, this is absolutely right, absolutely correct. It's very important. But do it proper way. If you want to produce something, do it proper way. Otherwise, spend all this money, go there hoping that maybe something will happen within 3 days. Thousands of dollars spent, nothing happens. Yes, nothing was going to happen. It never happened like that in the past. How is it going to happen now? It's not going to happen in the future. That's not how it happened. It happened in the past, but there's a process that you go through. That's how it's happened. So there's no worrying, I don't care. I'm only worried about how many people are coming for initiation. That's my job is done. That's not ethical. That's not ethical. That's not ethical. It's not ethical. So then people all confused about what kind of commitment, like how many times is there any, some people don't know what there's commitment or not commitment, they just get there. Then it kind of become like messy, messy. So then people can't keep their commitments. And there's all kind of that. You need to prepare them first. You need to prepare them like Marba prepared Milarepa. So then might not require much, maybe 5-minute teachings, finish. Because that person is well prepared. Maybe just need 5-minute teaching, that's all. Not well prepared like year after year teaching, it's probably not going to benefit. No? So I'm just trying to tell you exactly what's been taught by Lama Tsongkhapa, not just Lama Tsongkhapa, many masters. How to practice Tantra. There's process. Oh, so and very good questions. But first I highly request all of my friends at least have some idea what is Lamrim. Taught by whom? Bodhisattva Muni. Then clear explanation by Lama Atisha. It's not Geluba, it's not Kaju, it's not Nima, it's not Saja, it's just Kadamba master. Lama Atisha doesn't consider himself as Gelub, Kaju, Saja, Nima. He's just Buddhist master, Mahayana Buddhist master. Taught Lamrim. Then all four traditions explain the Lamrim. That's the foundation. At least have some idea what is renunciation, what is bodhicitta, what is shunyata, have some ideas. So then top of that, so then practice Tantra. Otherwise, all become empty. Yeah, it will become empty. It will become nothing. When you say the word, at the beginning of Tantra and then practice, all become empty. It become, basically nothing. Then it will lead to nothing. It will lead to nothing. Because there's nothing to think about. It's just word. It doesn't mean anything. It's just hum. You just know the word. You don't know what it means. And after that, you just all become empty. Do you feel anything? Of course not. Does it mean anything? Actually, it's designed to mean something very profound, something very deep, something very profound. You should get some lot of joys, but nothing. Because it begins with nothing, it ends with nothing. So then, you just mumble the word. If you learn, if you have idea what is shunyata, there's something to meditate, something to do, deep meditations, right there. That meditation will shook the root of samsara. All these complications I mentioned, it shook the root of whole samsara. That's why it means you have to feel something rather than just mumble the mere word. So that's why preparation is important. It's a learning process. First, you of course learn. So then contemplate. So then implement. So then will produce some result. Okay? Please don't think, Gita doesn't want to answer the question. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. I could say some word, probably you may not understand, probably may not understand. So I'm happy to, whatever ways, I'm happy to help you to explain whatever question you ask. And then, if you really understood bodhicitta, renunciation, wisdom, realizing shunyata, I'm more than happy to spend time with you one-on-one, on the FaceTime, on the phone. I will happily explain. Otherwise, so then here, it's hard. Okay? So I want you to be on the right path. No matter how long it takes, knowing just you are on the right path, that brings you immense joy. No matter how long it takes, but you are on the right path, that brings immense joy. So if you're on the wrong path, no matter how long it takes, it will not produce any result. So that's why I have moral responsibility to all my friends here. So make sure that if I cannot guide them on the right path, make sure that I don't guide them on the wrong path. So that's my moral responsibility. That's why I didn't give any initiation. Last 20 years, I invited my teacher. Why? Because I want you to have the best. That's my moral responsibility. That's why I invite my teacher 2 times to give you the initiations. He offers you initiations. So you have the Tantra initiations from my teacher. So I'm happy because you receive the best. So then if there's nobody around, then it falls on my shoulder. Then I have to think. Otherwise now, there's many great masters. So they know the teachings A to Z, know them very well. They know how to do. These are qualified. So that's why I invited Khenzo Rinpoche 2 times for you to have the best. You may have karma. I want that karma to need the best of the best. So, so then that's why my teacher came here 2 times, and I had the opportunity to translate with my broken English. Oh yeah. So anyway, now time is way over. Sorry, God was quite excited. So, so time is over. So so dedication, okay? Oh yeah.
May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May no living creature suffer, may fall or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may these never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Okay, now the long life prayers. First for His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. And the long life prayer for Sarah J. Khenzo Rinpoche, Jetsun Losang Dalek. The one who mastered his speech at a very young age, the one with great patience who received the name Avatare, the one with great precision who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa on bliss and void, Lama, ornament of the yellow hat tradition, please remain until samsara ends. The long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers honoring the 3 jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please live long, and 7 green Dharma mantras for Geshe-la and Geshe-san for his long, healthy, happy lives. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re Soha.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much. And all of you have a wonderful weekend. Then please continue to pray for Orion. So next 10 days, okay? Yeah, so maybe somebody in Thailand, good night. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you,
Thank you, Lama